Hey, it's Evan from Grumpy's Greens. Today I'm going to be doing a video following up on last year's video about how to store dahlias for the winter. Today we're going to be opening up the bags, and I'll show you how well they stored over the winter with absolutely no maintenance. I didn't even check in on them once, and the results are pretty great. So let's go. Okay, so we're just out here in the back, and I've already pulled out one bag and had a look. They're looking pretty good. So all I do for my storage of dahlias, just as a quick update, if you haven't seen the original video, which you should, it's right here. All I do is I dig up the tubers, I wash them up, and then I store them whole like this in clumps, and then I just stuff them into paper bags, and you can see how well they've stored. Absolutely no rot, no mold. And instead of cutting them up in the fall, assuming where the eyes might sprout, I wait until now to do my pruning, because as you can see, they've already begun sprouting. So it's very easy to tell. It's very easy to tell where you have to make your cuts. It's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is look and see where the eyes have sprouted, do a little snip, and make sure that there is a tuber intact connected to your eye. If there's no tuber intact, that shoot has no energy from which to draw, and that's what's necessary. You also have to make sure that there's no breaking or cracking at the joint where the base meets the tuber. You want this to be firmly attached. If it's just barely hanging on and wiggling, hanging on by a thread, that's not going to be providing any energy to that shoot any longer. So you want to make sure you've got a nice solid tuber attached. Yeah, we'll open up a few of these, and you can see like they're in amazing shape. All I did was spritz them off with a little bit of water before putting them in these bags. I stored these in a cold room in the basement for the winter. The cold room sits at about 12 degrees Celsius, which is this amount Fahrenheit. And yeah, I have never had any issues with this method. There's no medium, there's no checking in and like digging up and making sure it's all moist and you're not getting mold issues. It's just so easy. So just to compare, I want to show you what it looks like. I've ordered in some new varieties this season, and I'm just about to cut and divide these plants. I just want to show you one more quick time the contrast between storing them in a medium versus storing them just in a plain paper bag. So plain paper bag, all I did was spray these off, nice and clean, very easy to spot the eyes, even on these more tangled varieties. It's just neat and tidy, very easy to see where to make your cuts. When you've got peat and medium here, it's like a little rat sense you have to dig through. Now I can spray this off, but these shoots that are coming up are very, very delicately attached to the eye. So I don't want to really use any kind of high pressure spray to clean this off at this point, because I want to make sure that those shoots make it. So it's going to add extra work now for me to clean these up. Now it will depend too on like the variety. Different varieties tend to have different growth habits, obviously. So this one's a nice variety where it's got nice long elongated tubers, and there's a lot of space to work with here. It's going to be very easy and fast to make these cuts. This is a very dense variety. A lot of tubers, but they're very, very tightly packed together. It's going to be very difficult to see where the eyes are in this one. In any case, that's the first step, is we're going to clean these up, slice them up as best we can so that we have hopefully equal amounts of every variety. Then we're going to go plant them out in the front. All right, so now that we've cut and divided all of our tubers and found as many eyes as we can, or as many as we need. We're just spacing them out in our bed. We're just doing one bed here, and I'm doing them at kind of like diagonal spacing and interplanting with some lettuce. But these are 18-inch on a diagonal spacing like this. So it's 18-inch spacing. You can do one row if you like, or you can do 2 rows. It just depends on how you like them to grow. So we're just gonna space them out, and then I'm going to use the auger to dig some holes, and we're gonna pop them right in. All right, so I had the camera up on the fence here, and at some point it fell down. I don't know if I got that whole last shot or not. In any case, we've just finished planting all of our tubers that we've cut, and depending on the size of the tuber, I go between 3 and 6 inches deep. If it's a big fat tuber with a nice healthy sprout on it, I'll usually go a little deeper. But if it's a smaller tuber and a smaller sprout, I'll go a little less deep so that there's enough energy in that tuber and for the sprout to get up and through the soil. We do have a very heavy clay soil here, so it takes a lot of energy for them to push up and through. Because I'm planting them so late this year, it's actually mid-June. Usually we want to get our dahlias in the ground by mid-May, so I'm a whole month late, but better late than never. Because I'm so late, I was selecting eyes that had sprouted if I could, rather than just finding an eye. And when I buried them, if there was a shoot with a little bit of like a long enough sprout, I would actually leave some of it so we can start photosynthesizing right away and help contributing to the growth and development of the plant as fast as possible. So that's it for dahlias. We'll dig them up again in the fall, and dig them up again, dig them up again, dig them up again in the fall. Okay, so that's it, that's all. Hope you learned a little bit, had some laughs along the way. Share it, comment, subscribe if you can, or if you want to. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.